issues with his previous advisor.
Just discussing kind of relationships. I think we're discussing the handling of the pandemic.
How he rules.
And exactly, and how ethical the government is, how much integrity the Prime Minister has. That's what this is about.
But I think Johnny's making a good point where he says that...
Today on the Andrew Marr programme, it's just tittle-tattle and people aren't bothered about it. But I disagree. I think that people are bothered about whether the Prime Minister was callous enough to say, as people were dying, let the bodies pile high in their thousands. They want to know what his attitude was towards lockdown restrictions, whether he made the right decisions at the right time, and whether their family members' lives would have been saved.
And remember when
Action amongst the voters. We've had the row about Dyson, the ventilators and tax. The government said, look, wouldn't you do everything in order to get ventilators? And I think voters probably said, well, yes, probably. And we've had the row about how he pays for his flat. Now, why should voters care about that? There is a budget, isn't there, for how the Prime Minister refurbishes Downing Street. Boris Johnson is alleged to have tried to organise more money for that. And where's the problem with that? Why shouldn't a Tory donor pay money?
Now, still to come, fans returned to Wembley yesterday to see Manchester City beat Tottenham in the League Cup final.
It's competition time. Andy has details of how you could win a 3-part prize. And with Nomadland winning Best Film at the Oscars...
See what you did there.
We all want a vehicle to go on a road trip. Oh,
hello. Hello. Look at that.
I didn't realise I'd modelled myself on Jennifer.
Which one's Jennifer?
No, Adil, which one's Susanna?
Exactly.
Oh, Andy, thanks so much. Lovely to see you. And good luck, everybody.
Now, Winnebago.
Yeah, I can't believe that it is just a week since the European Super League was first announced, and it's just under a week since it all collapsed. Two of the clubs who originally signed up, Manchester City and Spurs, of course, faced off in the Carabao Cup final at Wembley Stadium yesterday. And wasn't it odd?
It was a bit odd.
To see fans back in the stadium.
I know. I can't get my head around it, and you think, well, apparently it is safe. It is safe. They were quite close to each other, you know.
Yes, for the sport. So what does the future hold?
Joining us now from North Wales.
For the sport. So what does the future hold?
Joining us now from North Wales is ex-England, Liverpool, Real Madrid and Manchester United forward Michael Owen. Some great clubs, played at 3 of the clubs involved in the...
Got a couple of the Super League clubs in there, haven't you, Michael?
Now defunct in the Super League. But you're quite clear that this isn't necessarily the end of it. It sort of came and went very quickly within just a few days, but you think there is more to come and there's a bit of an aftermath here.
The only way to hurt these people is probably to vote with your feet and to have a blanket ban, and I'm all for that. And it's, as you say, it's going to take place from Friday through to Monday, and hopefully that will get the message through to some of these people that just think it's fine to abuse people online.
OK, Michael, thank you very much for joining us. Michael Owen, very important words. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Britain.
And Adil Reid.
Good morning, Britain. It is just gone 8 o'clock. Charlotte has this morning's headlines. Congratulations to Sir Anthony Hopkins, and a lovely tribute there to Chadwick Boseman, who was actually tipped for the award, wasn't he? Congratulations to Sir Anthony Hopkins, and a lovely tribute there to Chadwick Boseman, who was actually tipped for the award, wasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Amazing performance. I mean, I mean, you know, Riz Ahmed, a friend of mine, who was also in Sound of Metal. I mean, it's a very tight, but I think, I've not watched The Father, but apparently it's an outstanding performance.
Well, we're going to speak to somebody who has appeared with Sir Anthony Hopkins and also with one of the other winners, Emerald Fennell, who won an Oscar last night with her screenplay, Promising Young Woman. Of course, that'll be because she played Camilla in The Crown and also Patsy in Call the Midwife. And from Call the Midwife, we are joined now by Jenny Agutter. Very good morning to you. In like this, the whole of Call the Midwife must be sort of beaming this morning.
People will know her work from Killing Eve. She was a showrunner on Series 2 of Killing Eve, which is outstanding. But this is her first ever feature. And for that to go and win an Oscar, I mean, like, that is just incredible. Absolutely incredible, isn't it?
Vanity Fair, post-Oscars party, and certainly not held in the same way. But also, I think a lot of people here feel a little bit more disconnected because they haven't been able to get to the cinema to see these films. I mean, I don't think Nomadland, which won Best Film, and Frances McDormand, its star, won Best Actress, I don't think that's even been released on streaming services here. So I think that people might feel a little bit like they're not sure what these films are. I mean, it's been such a difficult year for actors, filmmakers, the industry, hasn't it? Has been hugely popular. There's something very comforting about watching Call the Midwife, isn't there? And then, of course, you get completely shaken up by Line of Duty straight afterwards. But it's a big night, Sunday nights at the moment.
Yes.
Filming at the moment in, with COVID, social distancing. How do you manage to film something as intimate as Call the Midwife and all keep your distance? Is it about testing so that you can be together? Do you have to wear masks? Do they do clever tricks like they do on the soaps? So much. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It is great, and I want to say this actually. I think all men need to watch that movie.
Right.
It's a dark comedy thriller, but it
isn't it?
touches on issues of Me Too and feminism. And there was a female friend of mine who said, "You got to watch this." I was one of the first sort of I get sort of all the sort of previews through. I watch, and there's a couple of scenes in there as a bloke. You kind of need to watch that. It's quite an important film.
That one is
as well as being
available, I think,
comedy and funny.
Streaming at the moment. It's one of the ones that's available right now.
Yeah, it is available. Yeah, and
but a bit of a dark watch.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, but funny as well. So I think it's pretty well done. Right, it's 8:15. Let's get the latest news, travel, and weather where you are this morning.
See you in a moment. Lorraine is here at 9 o'clock. Very good morning to you, Lorraine.
Oh, hello.
We noticed that you have quite a dynasty look going on this morning. Are you channeling Crystal? Just coming up to 23 minutes past 8, a group of 22 leading scientists and academics have signed an open letter calling on the government to abolish social distancing and lockdown restrictions for good in June. This weekend, of course, saw thousands once again take to the streets in London to protest the current measures.
Yeah, so with much lower infection and death rates and a large proportion of the country already vaccinated, should June be the last we ever see of lockdown? Joining us from Edinburgh is Professor Devi Sridhar and from...
The Defence Secretary. This morning, Ben Wallace, according to the Daily Mail this morning, Boris Johnson's...
In a hotel room somewhere, apparently. We'll try and disconnect and reconnect, and hopefully be back with us in a few minutes. That
was like the worst of the Zoom calls, wasn't it? Exactly. That one to the Defence Secretary.
We'll do the composition and hopefully that'll give us time to come back to Defence Secretary Ben Wallace. Here's Andy with details of how you could win a car, a caravan and some cash.
But I mean...